I'm going to show you how to set up your Switch 2. This guide is for anyone new to Nintendo Switch or those that want to keep their previous Switch. This is not a full system transfer guide. That is a separate video we will be releasing very soon, so make sure you are subscribed down there. So I've got my Nintendo Switch just here. I am in the UK, so I'm going to select English UK. I'm going to hit Europe, and then I'm going to hit Next. And let's set up your internet settings. Once you've put in your internet settings and click OK, it will bring you to this screen, no doubt, where it will be saying that there's a system update. You can use your Nintendo Switch console in a variety of play styles to suit when, where, and how you'd like to play. You can adjust the stand so that you can see the screen from your preferred angle. So we know that that is just here. It's best to grab it from the base just there and then pull it out, and you can angle the stand at any angle that you like, really. And that's where you've got access to your MicroSD Express card slot, which we'll talk about in a moment. Continuing on, you can detach the Joy-Cons from either side, like so. Now it says to select next whilst these are detached. So yep, so it's kind of giving you a tutorial whilst setting it up. You can put them in the grip that's included. And of course, now we are at the update stage. So we're just gonna let that update, and I will be back once that is done. Oh, hang on, stop the video. Big thank you to Savage Raven by Skull & Co. So Savage Raven are actually sponsoring today's video, and I have installed the anti-glare matte finish screen protector. They also do a high gloss one as well, but I really like the anti-glare matte finish because when I'm filming, it stops the lights from reflecting loads, and if you're sat by a window, you can still see your screen. Savage Raven make loads of different accessories for the Switch 2. Go down in the description and find that link for more information. Back to the video. So now we have been updated and we're going to click OK. Now this is an important one because this is for whether or not you are going to transfer from another Nintendo Switch all of your data. So let's just say you had one of these and you want to transfer everything and wipe that into this. That is when you would then select begin system transfer. However, if you are new to Switch and you don't have a previous Switch, obviously you can't do this. And I do not want to do that because I want to keep everything on here because I've got so many games on there. I don't have enough storage space to put them over here. I want this just to be my Switch 2 games and any free upgrade games or, you know, paid upgrade games that are gonna benefit from the Switch 2. Again, if that is you that wants to know how to do a full system transfer, make sure you subscribe because I will be doing that in another video. So now we are going to go here and select do not transfer data. First user will be added so you can sign into your Nintendo account, which I'm going to do now. So now you can scan the QR code or select one of the other methods to sign into your Nintendo account. It will then ask you to link the number if you did it like I did with the QR code. And now I have signed in. Nintendo offers you options to create a safe play environment. So if you wanted to set up parental controls, you can do so here. If you skip this step for now, don't worry about it. You can always come back and set up parental controls later on. So I'm going to click skip. If you have a microSD Express card, please insert it. So now we're going to get my microSD card Express. I've got a 256 gigabyte SanDisk option just here, and I'm going to open it up and we're going to pop it inside. There's my microSD card Express, 250 gigabytes. Let's put it inside the Switch 2. So now what we're going to do is flip this over, pop your nail underneath the kickstand, and then down where it says microSD card Express, you're just going to face it upwards and click it into place. And now it says the system will be updated, after which the microSD card will be usable. So now we just have to press the home button, and now we're going to go to the menu. Switch 2. And there we go. There is our first look just there. And you can see, because I've signed into my account, I've already got 2 games that I've purchased for the Nintendo Switch 2 from the eShop prior to the launch that have automatically started downloading. Now it says from here you can re-download and play digital software and DLC you've already purchased. Now this, of course, is for those that already have a system. If you're brand new to Switch, then you probably don't. So I'm going to click OK. You can see I've got games just there downloading already. So I've got Fast Fusion and Survival Kids. I'm going to click on the game cards. Which user would you like to see? This one. And now it's going to show me all of my digital games that I've got linked to my account that I can then load onto this system and then continue playing. Obviously the first two at the top here are the most recent purchased at least, which are Switch 2 games, and they are already downloading. Now, if you are like me and you bought the Mario Kart Deluxe bundle, we're going to need to go into the eShop to link the code that comes inside the box to your account. So let's just do that first before we continue. So I'm going to go over to the Nintendo eShop, and now it's going to bring this. Enter your PIN or sign into your Nintendo account. You may have got a code inside the box like this. So just on a little leaflet, if you got the Mario Kart World Edition, we now need to enter that code into the eShop. Now, right at the very bottom, you will see redeem code. And now you're just going to type it in. And there we go. Confirm to redeem items, Mario Kart World, redeem. There we go. So now it's going to start downloading. So I'm going to just click close on the eShop. It's going to give it a second to load it up. A new virtual card has been added. So I'm going to click OK. And now we're at the section that is important if you are like me and you're keeping this system, but you want to be able to play your virtual game card. You're going to have to do this step. Do not skip this step, because AJ found out that this, could be a problem. And I'll go through the problem he had afterwards, but let's just go through it now and sort this out. So I'm going to get my Switch OLED and just turn this on for a second. Now I'm going to read this. In order to load virtual game cards to this console, you will need to be paired with My Console, shown below, which is this one. Pairing process only needs to be completed once. So I'm going to click next. Move the consoles together, which they are. The consoles are together. Do the following on the other console. So this console, open the virtual game cards, and now it's going to automatically come up. Are you ready to start the pairing process? Yes. Pairing complete. Virtual game cards can now be loaded. Okay. There we go. So now we are done with the Nintendo Switch OLED. So now we've got successfully loaded. You can play as soon as the data finishes downloading. And that is it. It's as simple as it is, right? We just literally got to wait for Mario Kart World to download, and that is it. However, there was an issue that AJ ran into whilst he was live streaming, trying to play on his brand new Switch 2. What he had the issue is he had multiple Switch 1s. So he had 4 separate Switch 1s, all with his account on. However, one of them was the primary system. The other ones were secondary systems, right? And the console that he had next to his Switch 2 to do this process was not the primary system. So the Switch 2 was looking for his primary. He did not have his primary, and therefore he could not complete that step. So he couldn't load digital cards, right? The game key cards. He couldn't load them. So what he had to do was go into his Nintendo account on his mobile phone and then unlink all of the other ones other than the one that was next to him. And then it picked it up and then it let him do that step. So just be aware of that. So opening up the settings tab, we have the flight mode just here. We've got screen brightness. We've got Bluetooth audio, so you can connect audio via Bluetooth. You've got internet settings, parental controls. So if you want to set up parental controls, then you can do so here. You've got accessibility here, so you can remap the quick settings. You can change the text size and contrast. There's a lot of different accessibility options. You've got data management. So I've obviously got the MicroSD card Express card just there. So it's showing that I've got that as well. We've got the user. So you can skip the selection screen. So skip the user selection screen. It may still be displayed in some cases depending on the software. So I'm just going to say yes. We've got controller and accessories. You can change grip order. You could do a lot of stuff here, including update the controllers. Because this is the accessories section, you can also update the Switch 2 camera if you've got that one. You can test the USB camera. This is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller wired communication. So if you've got it plugged into your dock via a USB-C cable, then you need to enable that. Also, you can swap A and B if you're used to an Xbox layout. Audio, you've got your audio settings just here. You can mess with all this if you need to. There's nothing really that needs needs to change. Now display. We want HDR output enabled because the Nintendo Switch 2's display is HDR. We've got TV resolution automatic. However, if you know which setting you want to use, so for me, I know I want to be using 1440p, I'm going to select that. However, if you know you want to be playing at 4K, then do that. If you've only got a 1080p screen, go for it. Automatic will select the highest one available that the display can recognize that it's plugged into. I would leave your RGB range to automatic. You can adjust the screen size on a TV that's not like a traditional aspect ratio. Reduce burn-in as well, which I would definitely have on if you're plugging it into an OLED screen. Match power state, you do want on because then it's going to allow you to turn on your TV once docked just by waking up the Switch with the Joy-Cons or the Switch 2 Pro controller. Yes, we want 120 Hz output because this display that's built in enables that, as well as all-M as well, we want that. And HDR output we want enabled as well, and you can adjust as well there. Themes, I personally prefer black, so just basic black. But it's up to you. I think the white shows a little bit better on camera. And then going down, you've got notification settings, sleep mode as well, and then system update, dock update, and everything else that you've got down here. So you've got a console lock, so you can select a pin number as well, change the date and time, you can show the battery console percentage. Stop charging around 90%, I would highly recommend that you turn on if you're leaving your Nintendo Switch docked. So what that does is it actually caps the battery at 90%, because if you're leaving the Switch 2 docked, then it's always receiving charge. If you're always charging a battery to 100%, that's not a good thing, and you're going to degrade that battery very quickly. Capping it at 90% gives it that 10% wiggle room where it will save the battery life. You know, the battery health will remain greater over time. For someone like me that's going to be mainly playing handheld, well, then you don't really need to worry about this setting. But I would say if you're leaving it docked all the time, definitely set it to 90%. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to transfer specific save data. So if you're like me and you want to set up your Switch 2 as a specific new console, but you want certain save data, maybe you want Breath of the Wild or whatever, then we're going to do that now, right? So we're going to have to go to our old Switch. We're going to go to settings, and we're going to go down to data management, and we're going to go and select transfer your save data. So send save data to another console. We're going to click yes and select the count that you want it to be. Now, equally, I'm going to go to my Switch 2. I'm going to go down to data management, and I'm going to go transfer your save data and receive save data. And we'll just leave it like that. Now I'm going to select the games that I want to transfer. Once you've selected the games you want to transfer the data for, click next. And then it's going to say save data for the following will be sent. Okay. And now we're going to go search again because that timed out. So now we are sending and receiving the save data. We just have to wait and be patient. There we go, successfully received saved data. So I'm going to click OK and then OK here. And then of course you can go to Save Data Cloud if you want to see your cloud saves, and you can also go here and say save data that's not on this console, and it will show you there, and you can download it that way as well. But some games do not support cloud save data, so you'll have to do it the first way that we just showed. Now this only applies to those of you that play Animal Crossing New Horizons and you want to swap your island over from your Switch to your Switch 2, you will have to do it the old school way, which will be going in to the eShop and getting the island transfer tool. Now you will need to do that on both systems. I'm not going to transfer mine, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. You're going to go into the eShop, search, and then type in Animal Crossing, Island Transfer, and search. And you're going to download that and just follow the prompts. Now you will need to download the same tool on your Switch 2 and just follow the prompts. It's really easy to do, and that will then transfer your island over to your Nintendo Switch 2. Now, if you're doing a full system transfer, which I'll do a separate guide for, you don't need to do this part anymore. that system transfer actually moves the island across as well now, whereas previously it didn't. And that's it really. You are now set up and you are ready to play. We're gonna have so many videos on the Nintendo Switch 2. We're gonna show gameplay. There's gonna be me and AJ discussing games and the Switch 2 and far more. We will be streaming games as well as doing other guides and all sorts of accessory videos as well. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, go down there, like this video and become a member, and you can help support the channel and you get to chat to me and AJ personally in our private Discord as well. And that's enough rambling from me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.